names and attributes. A person who is trying to ignore this, he is a person who is not bothered about learning religion to submit to Allah. If he is a person bothered to learn the religion to submit to Allah, he will first search who his Allah is and master that, realize it, understand it, and be the first slave to that master. But if his whole knowledge was searched in all other matters and not knowing his master, not knowing how he should be a slave to the master, that shows that knowledge was for other than the purpose of submission, which is dangerous. We cannot count what's in the hearts. We cannot judge what's in the intentions. But the activities prove the deviances. So anytime, if a person cannot be clear and straight on names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his knowledge, we fear of it. Because he has not made sure the knowledge which he acquired, practiced and preached is for to seek the pleasure of Allah. If it was to seek the pleasure of Allah, he would have first searched to know his master, to realize his master, to submit to the master. And realizing and submitting the master forces him to learn the names and attributes of his master. That's Allah. If he has ignored that chapter, he has not made a proper attention towards it, that means he was not careful how much good I should be to Allah, how much truthful I should be to Allah, how much honest I should be to Allah, how much submissive I should be to Allah. That area was not dependent by him or not covered by him. A person who has not covered that area, how can we give guarantee, how can we be sure his rulings on other areas are done with taqwa, with Allah's fear or not? So we cannot run on hearts or judge on intentions, but we can tell, as long as the road through which they have come to learn and preach is wrong, their material is not of a guarantee, not of a surety. That's why Imam Abdurrahman ibn Nasir Sa'di rahimahullah ta'ala very beautifully elaborates about as-sifat fil asl al-awwal wa huwa asl al-usul kulliha. For all the usul, that is the asl. For all the, because when you say in ilm al-Islam, the knowledge of Islam, you have usul al-hadith, usul al-fiqh, usul al-tafsir, usul al-aqaid, usul al-tarikh, usul al-lugha. There is a lot of usul, fundamentals. For all these, the main is knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-imanu billah, and in that comes the sifat and the asma, Allah's names and attributes. So realizing that is very important for a person. That's why it says, wa'adam here is the biggest thing. Of course, it's the biggest, first of all, biggest, for Allah's bigness. There is nothing more bigger than that. Wa'ahammuha, the important thing. Because you are to be the slave to Him. Then wa'alayhi tanbani jami' al-usul. And on that, will other all usul will be based. Wal-aqaid. And the creed, in creed, the iman billah, the iman, the chapters of iman, the chapters of ikhlas, the chapters of Isra wal Mi'raj, the chapters of any other chapters which comes under the Aqidah, which includes about awliyas, karamat, mu'jizat, al-ba's wal-maut, al-maut wal-ba's, the death and awakening, adab al-qabr. All these are chapters of Aqidah. So all this is, base is what? Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. And the oneness of Allah's base is what? Asma sifat, Allah's names and attributes. Knowing Allah. After knowing Allah, what He does, His activities is the Tawheedul Rububiyyah, Tawheedullahi bi af'alihi, the oneness of Allah by His action. Then comes Tawheedul Uluhiyyah, Tawheedullahi bi af'alil ibad, the oneness of Allah by the actions of the creations. First is Tawheedul Asma'i was Sifat, the oneness of Allah by His names and attributes. This is Allah. I should know who Allah is so that I can believe in Him. I can trust. After knowing who Allah is, what Allah does, these actions are done only by Allah, which we call Tawheed.